today may be a bit of an auspicious day for me. And I say that because for those who know me, I have been trying to hunt down what for me would be the perfect pirate game, pirate themed game. And so, what does that mean? Well, for me, the trick with pirate themed games has always been that there's the mechanics that that designers tend to use when they're building a pirate themed game tend to be very PvP focused, player versus player focused, right? So I tend to have a hard time playing those because I'm a fairly Care Bear kind of player, to use the term that Rado uses, right? I don't tend to like to kick over other people's sandcastles when I play board games with them. I really just want to enjoy a good puzzle together and see who can out pirate the other player. But look, I mean, it's a pirate themed game. There should be combat. You're sailing around the ocean and shooting at stuff and trying to get loot for yourself and enrich yourself. I mean, those themes are cool and fun, right? So I get that, like, you need combat in a pirate game. So how do you solve that? Long story short, I do think that Quests and Cannons has found a system that can satisfy almost every kind of player that might want to approach a pirate themed game. And I hope, fingers crossed, that we might have found it. We might have finally found it. I've played a lot of pirate themed games, a lot of them. I've streamed several of them. I am Pirates of Maracaibo, probably my closest game that I found that hits that mark for me. The problem that, I wouldn't call it a problem. I love Pirates of Maracaibo. I mean, I just said that recently, a couple weeks ago. That's true, I do. But at its core, Pirates of Maracaibo is primarily a race game, right? You're racing to get to Maracaibo, and whoever gets there fastest wins. But you're not really fighting one another. Even when you land on the same space as one another in Pirates of Maracaibo, you're really just paying each other for the visit, right? You're not really knocking each other out. And I don't want to knock people out. So I don't want to make that distinction. I want to make it clear that I don't want that. So how do you balance that? Like, I don't want to hurt other players, but I still want to play a pirate themed game that has that kind of combat mechanic. So that's where I think Quests and Cannons really can step in and solve that for me. First of all, love me a really strong theme, right? Look at this theme. It is gorgeous. The artwork is wonderful. It is a fantasy themed pirate game, which I think has its pros and cons, but I don't mind it in this context. It's not really forcing me to have to understand all of the little tiny bits about all of the different factions in the game for me to enjoy the game. If I want to, it's there, but I'm not required in order to really kind of grok what's going on or understand it. So Quests and Cannons, the reason why I think this game will finally be the perfect pirate theme game for me, right, is because it is so adaptable to the types of players that may approach this game. You can play this game multiple different ways. I'm going to play it solo today in kind of easy mode. And what easy mode is me versus 3 autonomous players. The rules are very simple for the autonomous players, so the upkeep is low. Again, a big requirement for me for a solo perspective. But you can play this co-op, and you can have different people on your team that are all playing from the same faction, because there's different characters from each faction that can all be playing as part of the same team against the other factions in the game. You can play this PvP, so you can play it 3-player, one against each other. You can include the bots in a multiplayer game or not. You can, the map is fully modular and editable and changeable. They give you many different ways to set up the board, and also modify those setups to adjust for difficulty or increase the interaction between players or decrease the interaction between players. There's a lot you can do in this game to really tune it to how you want to play it without having to home rule it. You're not having to like create a bunch of rules that only you and your friends use in order to make the game do what you want it to do. The game is built for that. So, and it includes all of the mechanics for it, and it does it in a really elegant rule book. And that's really hard for me to say because it's, I mean, we'll find out how elegant it is as I play and I'm looking for rules. But near what I can tell, it was very easy and very logically laid out. And they don't spend a lot of time writing paragraphs after paragraphs after paragraphs of things. The typeface is really big. The book is big, but the typeface is really big, making it so fast to just be able to whip through the book and find what you need and not have to try to squint and look at the little fine print of everything. They spent a lot of time. This is a project of love. You can tell that from start to finish. So what are we doing? I mean, in this game, at the end of the day, I'm excited to play it, as you can tell. I've been waiting for quests and cannons to show up from my door for a while because while the game does allow you to attack other players, and you do lose a fair amount of stuff when you do get sunk in this game, if you choose to play it PvP, then you're signing yourself up for that. But if you choose to play it as a co-op game or as a team versus the AI kind of a co-op, when you get sunk in this game, it is because when I played it, right, it is because the AI is the one that sank you, or some terrain or some other thing in the game has caused enough damage to your ship to sink you. That is because of your decisions usually. Of course, you can get bad rolls and whatever, but you can negate a lot of it. You can avoid a lot of it. And if I'm going to get sunk, it's the world, it's the people in it, it's the NPCs that are doing that to me, not other players. Sure, other players, I'm sure, could set things up so that you have a better odds of getting attacked or something. Sure, but like it's a pirate game. We're competing to see who can get the most prestige, prosperity. It's a P word. It's a P word. What is it called? It is called. I'm gonna mess it up if I don't find it. There it is. Prosperity. Yes. So the most prosperity. Right? And we're all competing to get the most prosperity in quests and cannons. So how do we do that? Okay, so let me step you through it. This will be the kind of how does it play, teach portion of the game. At the end of the day, we are competing for prosperity as pirates. And how do we do that? We gain prosperity doing most everything in the game by completing quests, by turning in map clues. So we're going to be researching, we're going to be looking for clues out in the world, and we're going to visit the locations that are referenced in those clues. And then once we visit them, we can spend some time like kind of studying them or researching them in that location. And then we have to bring them back to our home port to turn them in to the people that are actually at home looking to research, looking to learn about the things that we're finding out in the world. So map clues earn us prosperity points. Completing quests, I believe, even like not even I believe. I'm pretty sure I know that combat, successfully managing combat, will earn you prosperity as well. So we're racing to do that, and each faction, when you're playing solo, when you're playing the co-op mode even as well. No, I believe it's just solo. Am I wrong about that? It's here. I have it here. It is missions, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So when you're playing solo, you have to also complete your faction's mission. And I'll talk about who the factions are in a moment. But what I'll do is I'll start by talking about my faction. My faction are the navigators, basically. They're the Delph navigators. You won't be able to see all of that on screen in one shot, but I'll do my best to cover most of it. Yeah, you can see most of that. Yeah, okay, good. So I am playing Thera Mistwing, and they are a Delph navigator. And this is this is somebody, there's like 3 or 4 per faction, right? And I'm kind of in this blue faction, this navigator faction. And when you start the game as a member of this faction, or at least with this particular member of the navigator faction, you start with 2 sails, and you can have up to 3 throughout the game. So I can get another sail. You start with 1 cannon, and I can ultimately get 3 more on my ship if I want to pay for those upgrades. And then finally, I start with 2 holds in my ship. My ship can carry 2 holds worth of things, and I can get a 3rd hold if I want to pay for that upgrade. Different ships have different constraints. Some ships have more holds, but less of other things. They can move a little slower or whatever, right? So it's a give and a take. And then each faction has a faction capability, a faction ability that is unique to that faction. That's this Delvish mobility, which I'll talk about. And then each character in the faction has their own personal capability. So I personally can do Song of the Wind. So what every navigator can do is Delvish mobility. Once per turn, during your turn, you may discard a loot card to move up to 2 spaces. We'll talk about loot, but loot's what you think it is. You know, you can get loot from combat and moving around the board and so forth, and doing things around the board and completing missions and other things. So I can get rid of a loot card in my hand and move up to 2 spaces once per turn if I want. Loot's pretty valuable, so you may or may not ever want to sacrifice loot, but if you need to in a moment, and if it really serves your purpose or helps you win the game, then you might want to. Song of the Wind, my personal capability is once per turn, I can spend 1 sail to move 1 space without having to spend an action point in order to move. I only get 3 action points every turn. So those are precious, and I can apparently move 1 space with using 1 sail without having to spend action points. Oh, I should mention my ship has 4 damage capability, or 5 damage capability rather. So I can take 5 damage before I am sunk. And you do have the capability to repair in this game. So if I push in on the map, oh goody. I'm going to have to reset those too. That's nice. Am I? Yeah, I think I will. Okay. How strange. What happened there? I don't know. Hold on. Done. Image control. Oh, there we go. Okay, everything just needed to wake up today, I guess. We'll move that down slightly so you can see. There we go. Okay, so if we push in on the board here, you can see that the map is made up of a couple different terrain types. So you have open sea, you have rough waters essentially, and then you have like treacherous, what do they call them? They call them treacherous locations. Stormy seas are the dark ones, and then you have treacherous seas with the little tentacles in it. You also have locations which are not on this map that are like disabled spaces. They're spaces that you cannot sail through. They are impassable seas. You can use those in certain map configurations if you want to. There are risen islands. These are the islands that have certain resources on them. You will be collecting resources and spending those resources to make our upgrades and satisfy quests and those types of activities. So we're going to be wanting to visit these island locations and fill our holes with those resource types so that we can get upgrades done and complete the objectives in the game. So they're scattered all the way around. We start the game with them all unknown. They're all question marks. The first person who visits an island gets 1 coin, once $1. So it behooves you to be the first player to visit them. I will be visiting most of them myself in the solo game because thankfully the Marauders, the 3 opponents that I'm facing off on, don't move around a whole lot. So I get to kind of pick and choose where they are, but they do move around some. We're competing to get to 15 prestige, and I have to do that within 15 rounds. So I have to essentially average 1 prestige around or I'm going to lose. But my faction mission also has to be complete for me to win. And that faction mission for me is I have to turn in 6 map clues. So I have to go out to those locations, look at those locations, and satisfy those map clue requirements, and then come back and turn them in at my home port. I start the game in my home port. It is the only port in my faction that I can use. If a multiplayer game, you're going to have up to 3 home ports available to you, but in a multiplayer, in a solo game rather, I only have the one. I got to choose which one to start with, and I chose the middle one. Logic being I might have better access to it from different angles, and I don't have to like go across the board quite so much to get there. We'll see if that works out in my favor. But so I have to get to 15 prestige before the 15th round, before the end of the 15th round, and I have to make it back home with all of my map clues, and turn them in. That if I do that, I'll win the game. By the way, I don't think I'm going to win the game this time around. I think I'm going to lose. This will be my first time ever playing this game. That's kind of what I like to do on my streams is make it as obvious as possible what it looks like to learn a game just as much as play it. So there's plenty of places online you can go to watch someone, who has spent all of the time and energy to really get fully fluent on a game before they teach it. That's great. And those people serve wonderful purposes. I use them all the time. I'm a visual learner myself. But I think there's real value in understanding what a normal gamer goes through to learn a new game, and what the upkeep, or really what the onboarding is going to look like for you and yours when you try to play a game. So that's what I try to provide by giving you an unrehearsed look. I spent a little bit of time so I can explain the game, but other than that, we're going to learn as we go, right alongside me. So I start in the middle. This is my faction location home port that I get to come back to. Each different type of port, there are 3 different types of ports in the game, give you the ability to do maintenance on your ship, but also one special type of thing. So the home port is you can do maintenance there, but you can also turn in clues, right? There's a trading port out here, which lets you do maintenance, but also exchange goods for other types of goods. You can also buy map clues at trading locations, which I thought was pretty cool. And then the third one is these kind of upgrade ports. I'm not going to use the right word for that, but there are these ports over here that have names on them. These are locations you can visit to do maintenance, but also purchase upgrades for your ship. So if I wanted to get a 3rd sail, I would go there. If I wanted to buy another cannon, I would go there. I only start with 1 cannon, but I can get up to 3. So I'm going to want to go get more cannons so that if I come in contact with one of these marauders, I can actually have a chance of winning against them without dying. So we'll see how that goes. So my goal is, and we start the game with one map clue. It gives us a place to begin our quests, right? And I started with, and by the way, these are all shuffled, as are the starting locations for the marauder ships. These are all random locations. There's only one rule, and that's they can't start too close to your home port, so they can't box you in right away. Other than that, though, any card you do draw for them is a legal place to put them, so you're going to have different starting locations for the marauders every single game. Anyway, I start with this map clue, and this says I need to go to the Lettuce Sands Island. And if I spend an action here to solve this clue, then I get to draw a new clue, and so I can get moving on something else. And then I gain a loot, or I can gain a prestige point. And then that goes in on my tableau here, and I can hold on to that until I get back home. The problem is if I get sunk before I get home, I lose my map clues that I have solved. They get sunk along with me. So I have to be careful. I'm going to be amassing stuff, but I don't want to just try to like sail around forever and then like never come back home and turn them in, because one wrong move and a marauder sinks me and all of that work is lost. So it is a careful strategy to how do we deal with that. So, okay. So these are handy dandy little player aid cards. They're double-sided. They're some of the best player aid cards I've probably seen in a game like this. They're very, very informative. Um, they're dense with information without being overly hard to parse. So it gives you all of the different rules and structure that you might need, with little reminders right there at your fingertips. All the conversion rates for everything, all the movement and actions and how they work are all right there. Okay, so I think that's enough. I've explained it for now. I'm going to be able to buy upgrades, more cannons, more sails to move faster around the board. You'll see the movement rules as we go. You'll see the combat rules as we go. So I think the rest of this will go from there. Just as a reminder, most of my special abilities are movement based. That's just what I chose to play for my first game. So here I am on my home port. I'm playing the little blue character here. And you can see that with the little, I added little dots to the tops of the ships because the ships are all one color. They're all brown. And the only other way you can tell what color is what is on this little tiny shade on the top of the sail. But that doesn't help you looking vertically down on the board. So I went ahead and added a visual aid. I would have preferred it if they had painted the boats the different colors, but then they probably would have had to give more boats or whatever in order to make it all work. I don't know why they chose not to do that. Probably because they wanted that wooden color for immersion, but which is totally fine. That's great, but it doesn't, give you a top-down view. So it probably wasn't foremost on their mind when they did the design. Totally get that. So there you go. So I have the yellow faction is being played over here by this Marauder, the green faction over here. And by the way, I could have chosen anything any type of faction color to come out and play, but I went ahead with different colors just to make it easier for you to parse while watching the stream. And then I had the red faction over here. And if you're playing against real players, these would be the navigators. The yellow would be navigators. The green would be cannoners or cannoneers. And then the red would be, what are they called? Quartermasters. Yeah. So they let you gather and convert goods from the look of it. Yeah. And then get more stuff. You can actually get resources a lot easier playing the red quartermaster characters. The yellow characters are about, these guys are navigators too. Interesting. Oh, I see. Oh, ignore me. Okay, I get it now. I didn't notice that. So like I mentioned before, there are 3 different types of characters per faction. And so there's a 1 navigator, 1 cannoneer, and 1 quartermaster class for each faction. That's what it is. So I'm playing the navigator class in the blue faction, and you can play the navigator class in all the other factions as well, right? Or cannoneers or quartermasters. So cannoneers are what you think, right? Better at combat. And then navigators, what did I say? Quartermasters. And okay, so navigators better at movement, cannoneers better at combat, quartermasters better at resources. So there you go. That's the highest level difference between them. Okay, so here's how this works. Now we're going to take my first turn. My first turn is going to take a little bit to try to figure it out, and I'm going to try to explain it, but here's the thing. As I said before, the first player to reach an unexplored island gets 1 coin, and then you can, if you wish to, spend an action point to gather things off of that island, of that resource type that you're going to discover. So if you're going to move, you're going to spend an action point on a move action. And your move action is not considered complete until you declare yourself done. So there's things you can do during your move action to extend your move. You still always have to spend an action point to move, and you still always get your base movement when you do that. But you can then spend sails to move further, and you can also exploit the terrain, which I'll get into in a minute, to move you on a little further as well. And none of that is considered separate. You're spending 1 action point for a move action, and you can move as far as you can manage to make it work in 1 action point. So when you're done and you can't do anything else to extend your movement, then you can declare yourself as done with your movement and move on to your other actions. So, okay. Oh, I should mention on my player board, you can't see my player board, but I'll come a little closer on my player board for a moment. Here's my player board. I have money and I have a traveler bonus die. We'll get into what that means in a minute. You have 2 slots on your ship board, and those are for upgrades. Or not upgrades, for loot. There's certain loot that lets you equip those loots onto your ship and give you permanent abilities while the loot is equipped to your ship. Then you have your cannons, and that allows you to track. You can have up to 4 cannons per ship. My ship is small, so it only lets me have 3 cannons. So I'll only be able to get 3 cannons on my ship. And I start with 1, but I can go ahead and upgrade those if I want. And then this is my holds. I only have 2 available hold slots on the bottom of my player board. The player board gives you the ability to have maximum of 6 storage slots. Because I'm dealing with a faster, smaller ship, I have less holds. I have less space. So I have 2 slots available. And I can, if I want to, upgrade later and get a 3rd. So that's the most I can do is 3 on my ship. So right now at the start of the game, I have no loot. I have nothing equipped. I'll start with $3. I start with 2 sails because that's my character. I start with 1 cannon because that's my character. And I start with 5 ammo dice. We'll get into ammo dice and how they work as we play. So, all right. Moving on. Start of my turn, like I talked about one more time. We're going to start with movement because I'm on my home base, can't get anywhere. And the first thing I want to do is I have Birdie Cove is right next to my starting port, my home port. And I can get a coin if I go there first and see what resource type is there. So what I'm going to do is, starting out without doing anything at all, without taking a standard action, I'm going to actually use my personal ability on my board. I am going to use Song of the Wind. And it says, once per turn, you may spend 1 sail to move 1 space without using the move action. So I'm not spending an action point. I'm going to exhaust my first sail. And by doing that, I flip over it to the unfurled side. I'm going to exhaust my first sail. I haven't spent an action point, but it lets me move 1 space. So I'm going to move from here to here. And in so doing, I get to reveal the first resource type. It is canvas. Canvas is used, as you might imagine, to make more sails. So, and I have the ability to get a 3rd sail and move around further. I think I want to do that. So my first action point will be actually spent. That's this tracker here. My first action point is actually going to be spent to gather. I have 2 holds. And my question to myself is, how much do I want to gather? Do I want to fill up my holds, or do I want to leave myself available to get a different type of resource along the way? Well, how much does it cost to build? Because just in case 1 canvas, I only need 1 canvas now. And I can only get a 3rd sail. So unless there's a quest later or a map clue or whatever that requires me to, deliver canvas to some location, I'm not going to need more canvas, not right away. So I think I'm just going to get 1 canvas. So I'm going to take 1 canvas and I'm going to stick it in one of my holds. So now I have 1 canvas, but I'm going to leave 1 available in case I get to a different location that is equally useful to me. Okay, so again, I've only taken 1 action right now. I've gathered. I was managed to move, but I managed to move because I had a special ability to let me do that. Okay, so now I'm going to take a real move action. A real move action means you spend 1 action point to move, and you get to move 1 space. You can extend that move, which I'm going to do, so watch this. So I'll spend 1 more action point. So I've now spent my 2nd action point. I get to move 1 space. My move is not done, but I have spent that initial move, 1 move space. I am now going to spend, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Am I going to go here? I think I'm going to go here. Yeah, I'm going to go here. I'm going to spend a sail to extend my move. And so now my move is complete. I moved 1, and then I spent an additional sail to extend my move 1 space. And because I was moving onto an island, that island is considered, it's like calm seas. So I don't have to spend additional movement to move there. It's not treacherous and it's not rough seas. So I was able to just spend one more movement that the sail gave me to go there. But because I'm here, I get, for the first time, I get to reveal that. And that is spices. Interesting. Spices is worth a lot. I should say I forgot to take my coins for my coin for the first one, and I just earned a second coin. You can't see that. No, I think you can. No, you can't. I'll come out further. I'll come back to the board so you can see that. Okay, so I just earned a second coin for my second discovery. I am now sitting at the Paradise Enclave Island. And I could collect that spice because spice is actually worth a fair amount. I can get 2 coins trading if I sell that spice at a trade location. I don't need them. I mean, I do need the money. I always need the money. But do I want that, or do I want to get a different kind of resource that's going to let me like immediately get an upgrade, like another cannon or another cargo hold? Those require metal and lumber, respectively. So I think it's good to know where spices is. I'm not going to spend time to gather it right now. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my third action and I'm going to move again. And it only gets you 1 space. I'm out of sails. I can't sail again. I can't spend another sail to move any further. I can only move 1 space. So here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get to Lettuce Sands, which is over here. And I'm trying to get there as quickly as I can. It's only been the first round. So, you know, but I only have 15 rounds to do all of this. So I got to be trucking as much as I can. So I want to move that direction. But I also want to make sure I don't end my turn within range of a marauder. And right now, the marauder can move 1 and 2. They start the game being able to move 2. As they go, they buff up and they were able to move further and do more damage as the game progresses. But for right now, they start with a movement of 2. Treacherous Seas is 1 movement and Calm Seas is 1 movement. So that if I were to sit here and gather for my last action, I would end my turn and I would still be in range of this marauder, and I don't want to. And likewise, if I went to this trading port, I would still get attacked by this guy because trading ports are not immune. Do not let you be immune from combat because you're there. You can still fight somebody that's there. So that's not true of the other types of ports, but it is true for the trading ports. So I don't want to go there right now. I want to be away from him. Instead, I'm going to take my chances. I'm going to roll the dice and I'm going to go to Treacherous Seas. Specifically, I am actually going to roll the dice because here's how it works. There's a 50-50 chance that the Treacherous Seas slows me down and does damage. In other words, I don't get to move through this location. I just have to sit and deal with the fact that whatever is in this treacherous location causes damage to my ship. On the other hand, if I succeed and I evade whatever's there, I get to complete my action by moving to any adjacent spot for free. I don't have to pay the movement cost. I get to move there right away. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get to this rough seas location without having to pay the moving cost. And I'd be able to do that if I successfully navigate the treacherous seas that I'm currently on. That only happens if I get a good roll here. So let's find out what I get. Treacherous Seas is moving. Is it on one of my reminders? There it is. Look at that. I love it. Okay, so if I roll low, I have to stop and take damage. If I roll high, I get to move through it freely. So if I roll 1 to 3, it nails me. If I roll 4 to 6, I move on. I rolled a 6. Look at that. Make sure that shows up on camera. I'm pretty sure it does. There it is. Cool. All right, good. So I rolled a 6. I successfully evaded the horribleness that awaited me in the Treacherous Seas location. That lets me move freely adjacent. So I'm going to move here for free. I don't have to pay the 2 movement. It would have cost me 2 movement to pass through the rough seas if I hadn't done that. Okay, I'm out of movement. I'm out of action points. My turn is over. And this is a location that costs 2 to move through, and this is a 1 location. So this is 3 away, and this is actually 5 away in order for him to move into me. So he's not able to get me. He's far enough away, and he's far enough away. So they're not going to move. They're literally just sitting there waiting for passersby so they can pounce and attack on them. They will move eventually, but they won't move every round unless they can come get me. So my round is over. Let me just double check, because this is my first ever turn of this game. I'm just going to double check that they don't do anything else. I'm pretty sure they don't. Moving, yep, great. Okay, yeah, that's it. Right. Okay. Reinforcement, right, okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay. All right, just want to make sure. So because I didn't trigger anybody, they didn't move and they didn't attack me, I am safe where I'm at. So when we reset at the end of our turn, is there a turns and rounds? There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, how a turn works. Did that. Refresh. At the start of your turn, refresh your actions. So I go back to 0. Refresh my sails. So I get my sails back again every turn. And I reset my cannons. I never fired my cannons, so they're still reset. I have $5 just as a reminder. And I don't have any traveling bonuses. And when I get one of those, you'll see what that is. Okay, so I can move for free again. I'm tempted to do that again, but let's try it here. I want to get to Lettuce Sands, and I want to get there quick. And here's why. I don't want to end my turn on Lettuce Sands. Oh, no, I can. I can, because he can only move 2 right now. And this is rough seas. So he's going to move 2 in order to get through that. So he would require a 3rd movement to be able to reach me at Lettuce Sands. So I can safely stop there. Huh. Well, what if I did what I did before then? What if I move for 1 with my free action? I spend a sail to do it. And then for my second action, I move here. But if I do that, then I'd need to spend a 3rd move action to move here, and I wouldn't be able to gather at Lettuce Sands or even research my thing. So maybe I just avoid Orchid's Veil for right now. And I take my chances again with the Treacherous Seas. I mean, why not? Being a pirate means risk, right? So let's go for it. It's early game. Let's go for the Treacherous Seas. So I'm going to just do a move action, which is just 1 movement. So I don't have to burn a sail. So that's my move action. And now we resolve our Treacherous Sea location again. Here we go. Once again, it is 1 to 3. It nails me and I take a damage. 4 through 6, and I sail right through. 4, it is. 2 for 2. All right. So again, as a reminder, I get a free move action at the end of that. I get to move to any adjacent location I want without paying any cost. So I'm going to move into this location, which is Calm Seas, which just moves me closer to Lettuce Sands. That movement point is now done. Okay, I'm going to take a second move action, and again, I'm not going to burn any sails, and I'm just going to move here onto Lettuce Sands. And because I'm the first player to reach Lettuce Sands, I get to find out what kind of goodies it holds. And my goodness, it's gems. Gems are cool. If you trade for gems, and you trade gems and $3 at a trade station, you can get a loot card without having to like fight anybody or do anything or complete a quest. You can just get a loot card if you have gems and $3. So that's cool. So we're at Lettuce Sands. We have one action left. Did not take my coin for discovering that. I did just now, though. And I have one action left. So I'm going to spend that action to investigate my map clue on Lettuce Sands. So I spent my last action, and I get to solve this clue. So it is now solved, and I should have had that really in my hand, but I wanted it out for everybody to see it when you can see my player board. But it is now considered solved, and I get to draw a new clue. So I draw my next clue. This is my first draw. I now am headed to Bogey Cliffs. That's where I'm going. So let's take a look. Where's Bogey Cliffs? Bogey Cliffs is actually not that far, and it isn't like directly next to a bad guy. So that Bogey Cliffs is right here. If I move smart, I probably can make it in one turn or maybe two. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so Bogey Cliffs is our new map clue. Okay, and okay, so do I want to gain a loot card or do I want to gain a victory point? Part of me wants a loot card because A, I want to experience what they are, and B, it's early and it may help me get more done faster. I'm a little concerned though that I'm giving up a victory point, but why not, right? The odds are low I'm going to win, so I might as well see as many cards as I can. So I'm going to draw a loot card and we're going to see what we get. We got a baby cluckin'. Isn't that cute? It's a chicken-headed squid or octopus. Discard this as a rival ship moves into your space to move up to 2 spaces. Cool. I get to evade combat 1 time. That's useful. I would have liked for the loot to have been something I could equip on my ship, though. But hey, it'll get me out of trouble, and that's never a bad thing. When my turn is over, I am safe because it would cost him 3 movement to get to me right now. Oh, and this was the second round. I hadn't been showing that, but so now we're moving into the 3rd round. I didn't use any sales this last round, so I don't have to reset those. I now have $6. And now we're heading off to do that. I'm wondering now, I think I should fill my holds with gems. So I'm going to spend 1 action point to gather gems. So I've taken a gem and I've stuck it in my last remaining hold on my board. And now I need to get to a trading post, which I'm going to pass through on my way to Bogey Cliffs. So I might as well, right? So here, I'm just debating on my movement here. I got 2 movement. And I want to get as much information as I can. So I'm going to 2 action points. So I'm going to spend 1 of them to move, and I'm going to move here for the first part of my move, and then I'm going to burn a sail to move once more to Dahlia's Demise. So that's the end of my movement. And then I get a coin for being the first one to discover Dahlia's Demise, and it too is gems. That's good to know. Okay. So for my last action, no, that's not true. I'm going to use Song of Wind, my personal special ability, to burn a sail without spending a movement point. So I'm going to burn my last sail to move 1 step, and I'm going to move into the trading post. I didn't spend an action point, so now I have my last action point, and I'm going to spend that now to visit the trading post. Cool. Trading posts. Let me trade. I think I'm going to trade $3 and the gems that I picked up for another loot card. And we got Smuggler's Cash. Smuggler's Cash. Discard this on your turn to roll a die. If I roll 1 to 2, gain 5 coins. If I roll 3 to 5, gain 1 lumber, canvas, or metal. And if I roll 6, gain 2 resources of my choice. That doesn't suck. Wow. Wow, I'm going to hang on to that because I think I can just do that as a free action. So I think I'm just going to hang on to that, and I'm going to use that when I need it the most. Okay, that was the end. I don't have to repair anything, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay. All right, so they don't move again. We do go to the 4th round, and then next round, they get a little stronger. So the Marauders get to buff up a little, get reinforced is what they say. And I'm not looking forward to that because then we're going to start shucking and jiving a lot more. A lot more. Okay. Still don't have any victory points, and we're in the 4th round. Not good. Not good. Okay. So, first movement. We are going to move 3 points. We're going to move 1 for free for the movement, the base movement action, and we're going to burn both sails. And now we're going to go 1, 2 for those 1 each per sail. And now I get to earn another ducat for being the first to discover Bogey's Cliffs, and it's lumber. Hey, that's pretty handy. I can get my 3rd sail that way, maybe. That's tempting. Okay. I have 2 more actions. I can gather the lumber for 1 and research my map clue for 2. I think I like that. So, the first action is just to gather that lumber. Cool. I now have canvas and lumber in my 2 open, my 2 storage holds. And then I'm going to spend my last action to solve this Bogey's Cliffs map clue. And I have solved it. So now I have 2 of my 6 solved map clues that my faction requires me to do. I can gain another loot card, or I can finally earn my first victory point. Ooh. What I'm really hunting for by digging through this loot deck here is I'm trying to find a loot card that lets me equip it on my ship. I really want to like upgrade my ship. But I need victory points. I better get on the board. I got 2 loot already. I'm going to get on the board. I have 1 victory point for solving that. And I get to draw another map clue. Okay, what do we get? We got Blossom Scary. Spend 1 action point here to solve it. Okay, same as everything. So, okay, we now have Blossom Scary. Where's Blossom Scary? Oh, no, way back over there. Well, I can go get some more gems at least. And the worst part about that is it's over there in a cove in the corner. Ooh, do I want to do that? Do I want to put myself in a corner like that I now have to escape out of just as they're getting stronger? I don't know. How do I get quest cards? How do I get quest cards? I've got to be able to get quest cards somehow. It's the one thing I haven't gotten into. I want to say quest cards. Can I get a quest? Clues. Solve. Do 1 space. When you land, movement. When you land, take a quest. What? Hold on. When you land, take a quest. Well, I've landed 4 times, 5 times. Should I have 5 quest cards? Let's take a look. Maybe I just missed that. Where are you, quest cards? I might have just missed that whole thing. There we go. Whenever you land on an island, draw a quest card. Wow. Well, hell, I should have been drawing quests this whole time, y'all. All right. I'm going to draw, I get 5, but I can only hold on to 3. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to draw 3 because that I could have held on my own without doing anything. Now I have 3. I haven't looked at them yet. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at those 3, know what they are, and then I'm going to draw a 4th and decide which of the 4 I'm going to keep. And then discard one, and then I'm going to draw a 5th and decide which one I'm going to keep again. That simulates the actions I would have had to take. So let's take a look at our first 3 quests. The first one is a normal quest. The second one is a difficult or hard quest. And then the last one is a, let's scooch that over just a little. You can barely see them. Let's see if I can, I'll do this because you don't really need the flavor text as much. Okay. So I have a quest that is saying trade for a clue. Ah, interesting. Okay, so it wants me to go get spices and then trade for a clue. And if I do that, I get a victory point and $2. That's the first one. The other easy one, if we want to say that, is canvas and lumber. And if I deliver that to the trading port, I get 2 victory points, a loot, and $2. The thing is, I want upgrades, and I have everything I need to get that done right now, but I want my upgrades. So, oh God, do I get that done right now while I can? That's something to think about. Okay, and our last one is Windshear's Jeweler, which is a difficult quest. And it wants me to deliver gems, spices, and canvas to a particular port, Windshear Retreat. If I do that, I get 4 victory points, $5, and a loot. Wow. 4 victory points. That's almost a third of my goal, of my requirement. That's a lot. Okay, well, I have those first 3. Now, I'm going to draw my 4th, because again, I didn't draw any of these before when I landed. So the cut of that jib, hit a rival ship with an attack. Interesting. Do I like that more? I don't know. It's 1 victory point. And I get $2, but I have to get into combat, which I'm probably going to do anyway here soon. Do I like that more or less than anything I currently have? It's easier, spending less time right now. I need map clues, so I should do that anyway. This other one, I have the stuff for. And Windshear is just going to take me forever to get done. God. So this is the tricky part, right? Do I want quests that are harder to complete but earn me more? But that means spending more time on them. Or easier to complete and don't earn me as much? I can only hold 3 quests at a time. I think this hard quest would be good if I had the time, but I don't. Gems, spices, canvas. While 4 victory points sounds nice, I think I'm going to sacrifice that for the cut of the jib. I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to discard this quest. I don't want to do that, but I think it's probably the best thing to do. Okay, my last one to justify here is my 5th one. Higher Learning. It's another hard quest. I have 2 of the 3 of those right now, except I need to spend at least one of them to get a hold. But anyway, it's 4 victory points, a loot, and $3 if I go to a different, port location, a specific port, and trade those things in. I think that goes to the same problem of just not having time enough to do these really, really difficult quests. I want to do them, but I need to stay agile in my first game, I think. That probably, it may be a mistake. I don't know, but we'll play it that way. Okay, so we have 3 quests. We have a map clue, which is Blossom Scary. And that was the end of my turn. We're heading into the 5th round. Now, does this start the round with, let's see, reinforce at the end of the round, at the end of round 5. Cool. Okay, so I get 1 more round before they upgrade. Nice. So it is 5th round. And I get my sails back. Still haven't had to engage in combat, but they're going to move soon. They're going to move and reinforce at the end of this round. And I'm probably going to end my movement in range if I'm not careful. They all start with 5, the ability to take 5 damage, and they get to fire 2 cannons every round. So I have to be careful with that. I bet you I can use my baby Cluckin' to get out of Blossom Scary again. So I am full up on holds. I need to do an upgrade. I don't remember if you can sail through bad guys or not. Can you sail through a bad guy? Let's take a look. I think you can. I think you can. Everything I've read in the book says that you have to be on the same location to attack them, for example, which suggests you can sail through them. So what do I want to do with that? I think I might want to go 1, 2, 3, and then take my chances there. And if I get it, go here for free. If I do that, I can't move again. I don't think. Well, maybe I can. 1, 2, 3 would be the max I can move. And then this will spit me out here if I get it right. And then I can move again for my second move, my second action. I can move 1. And for my third action, I can move 2. Yeah. He's going to come attack me, though. Huh. Or do I just go straight at him? I can only fire 1 cannon at a time, which means I can do a maximum, and I'll tell you how it works when we get there, but I can only do a maximum of 1 point of damage every round. So, which means I won't kill him in 1 round. And I don't want to move right away because I want to research Blossom Scary. So what I think I might do is try to get to that upgrade location, the Boulder Point Stronghold, right behind him. It's this green location up here. And if I can get there in 1 turn, well, I might be able to actually. If I move for 1 and then see what happens, if I succeed, then I'm here. And then I would get the ability to research that location, get another quest card. That's 1 action. And then I would move for 2. And then if I'm successful there, I would be here. And then my third action would be to repair. Or not repair, to upgrade. The reason why that's really cool is because I'm safe there. I'm safe in that location. It's a safe harbor. So he can't attack me there even though I'm right next to him. I like that plan. We're going to do that. So for our first action, We're going to reset our actions here. For our first action, we're moving here for 1. And we're going to roll them bones to see if the treacherous seas finally damage me. We'll see. Nope. Lady Luck is still with me. So we evade and we get to go here for free. That's the end of our first movement. Therefore, I have landed and I get to reveal. That is spices. I get another coin and I get to draw a quest card. Our quest card is cannonballs and sacks. Metal and canvas to a trading point. I like that one. I might keep that one. Do I like that more than trading spices and $3 for a clue? I don't know. I like that one though. Trading points. I think I'm going to discard the cut of that jib for this cannonball and sacks. It's worth 2 victory points instead of 1, but I also have to go get stuff and trade it in and not get upgrades for it. So that's kind of a bummer. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll discard that one. I'm going to keep cut of a jib and discard cannonball and sacks. And the reason why is I need the metal for my 3rd cannon. I don't want to trade that in for victory points, assuming I'm going to actually get a 3rd cannon. I don't know. Okay, I don't have room in my holes for those spices. So they're going to have to stay there, unfortunately. Second move, we're going to move 1, and we're going to roll bones again. Let's see if I get it. Let's see if I get it. I do. Ha ha ha. I rolled a 4. Okay, and I've moved here for my free action as a result of successfully navigating the treacherous seas. That is the end of my second move action. And then my third action is to actually perform upgrades. Map clues, quests. Do I have a quests in these locations? I don't. Okay, just checking. Okay, so I can perform as many upgrades as I want as long as I can pay for them. So at the moment, let's take a look at my ship so we can see what we got. I have amassed $6, which is convenient because each upgrade costs 3. And a lumber and a canvas. What does that do? Well, at an upgrade location, which is where I'm at, it's a port. What do they actually call these ports? There's names for them. Ports. It is a workshop port. This is a workshop port that I'm currently in. It is a safe harbor, can't be attacked here. And I can pay $3 and then one of the resource types of my choosing to get either a sail, a cannon, or a hold, an extra hold. So let's take a look. I have lumber and sails. Lumber and canvas. Canvas is used to make sails, and lumber is used to make extra holds. I'm going to do both of those because I have $6 and 2 resource types. So let's do lumber first. We're going to spend $3 and we're going to discard lumber. And in exchange, we get to remove this this hold box. Now my ship can hold 3 things instead of 2. And then my second upgrade is $3 and canvas. And we trade that in and we get another sail. Boom, ba boop. Now we have 3. So I have max sails of 3 and I have max holds of 3. The only thing left to upgrade now is cannons. And the only reason why I haven't considered doing that is because I haven't found any metal yet. So there's that. Okay, that is the end of my turn. Now things get difficult. And we're probably going to get into combat as early as my next turn. Most likely. And it's unavoidable at this point. I've danced around these Marauders long enough and they're getting tired of me. So here's how this works. From here on out, at the end of the 5th round, and I'm just looking it up to make sure I don't mess this up. Yeah. At the end of the round, they reinforce. And that means they move and they gain another cannon. So cannons are also how we just determine how far they can move when you're playing multiplayer. So each of the Marauders now moves 3 and can now fire 3 cannons instead of 2. That's not good. And now we're going to move them again. So starting with the yellow player, we're going to move them to Albatross Neck. Albatross Neck is where? Over there. Okay, so let's move back to the main map so you can see me do this. So I was at Condor's Flight, and now I'm moving over here to Albatross Neck. Okay, who's next? We're going to go with the green Marauder next. Green Marauder is moving to Paradise Enclave. Paradise Enclave is located, I went there once, here. Oh no. They're going to barricade me in. That's no good. Okay, well, we'll see. And then the red player is last, and they are moving to Triton's Trumpet. So Triton's Trumpet is over here in the corner. I like over here in the corner. I can probably evade over here in the corner. So, okay, cool. So that's that. So those 3 now go to the bottom of the map clue deck. We won't see those locations again until the deck runs out. Well, that's convenient. In a way, that's really convenient because now I won't get attacked by the guy that was hovering around Blossom Scary, which was my destination. Interesting. So, what do we want to do now? Well, let's get the Blossom Scary. I'd like to be able to research that Ostrich Rock, but I don't want to spend all my time researching locations or discovering locations. So I'm going to just blow right past it this time. We're going to move 3. So move 1 for free. And then we're going to go burn 2 of my 3 sails. Yeah. To go 1, 2. And now I'm on Blossom Scary, so I get, oh, it's lumber. Bummer. I was really hoping it was going to be metal. Do I need lumber for one of my quests? I think I do. I do. So we're going to get 1 lumber. I'm going to gather for my second action. And I'm going to gather 1 lumber. For my third action, we're going to research my third map clue, which is Blossom Scary. So I really should get back home soon. I've got 3 of the 6 that I need done. And if I get sunk on my way, I'm screwed. Okay, so I get to draw another map point, or map clue, to know where I'm going next. It is Dahlia's Demise. Okay. Dahlia's Demise. Didn't we see that? We have seen that. Oh, it's really close. Hey, that's cute. That's really cool. Okay. So Dahlia's Demise is right here. I can probably get there in 1 move. I'm out of action points for this round. Oh, by the way, this is 6th round. And I've gotten 1 victory point so far. I'm trying to work towards a quest goal or 2 to try to get some more victory points. Well, okay. What do I want to do? I think that's the end of this round, though, so I'm moving into the 7th round. I get my sails back. I'm looking at my quests. I've got, I need to get spices, which I can get, but they're difficult. They're being fairly well guarded right now. That's not good. I need to get to Dahlia's Demise, so I think I should just say the course and get my, oh, and I took a victory point, not a loot for that last one, so I got 2. So now I have 2 victory points. So I want to get to Dahlia's Demise. Yeah, okay. So I think we're just stay the course. We're going to get our map clues done. See if we can get back home and turn them in. And then on the way, of course, try to get stuff for my quests if I can. So my first move is going to be one, and then I'm going to burn a sail, one sail, to move an additional point, which will be here to this treacherous seas. I'm going to roll the dice and see if we make it happen. We don't. We get stopped and we take a damage. That's the first failure we've seen. Okay, so on our ship, we now take a damage. We have 4 health remaining, and we're going to need to do some maintenance in order to get that repaired. And it costs $3 to do 1 repair. Wow, that's brutal. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to burn a sail for a free move without burning an action, using my player power. So now I'm in Dahlia's Demise, and I have 2 actions left. Well, I'm going to spend one of them to solve my map clue. And that gives me another victory point and another quest card. This one is Condor's Flight. Condor's Flight's not far from here, actually. And I haven't been there to research the goods that are there. So that's not a bad thing. Okay. Do I get the gems while I'm here? Do I need the gems? I don't need the gems. Gems are good for getting loot, though, but I would have to spend $3 to do it. I'd rather not. So I think I'm going to hold on and just see if I can't get so that I can't get better stuff, maybe metal for my cannons, right? Okay, we're going to move our last sail. Not our last sail, sorry. Just one more move action. So it's 1 move. And then we roll the dice because it's treacherous seas. I should mention. Oh, I missed something. Okay, so remember when I failed that treacherous seas a little bit ago? Well, I took damage, yes. But one thing that I did also do is I tick up my traveler's dice by 1. So that's my blue traveler's dice. I'm going to make sure I get that rule right because I've never done it. Yeah. Movement. There we go. There we go. Traveler's bonus. That's right. Oh, right. Okay. So I don't take it up on the dice. That's what it is. A traveler die. Why did I roll the traveler die? Oh, I'm rolling the wrong die the whole time. I should be rolling this blue guy. Okay, this is my traveler die. This is the die I should be rolling when I try to navigate treacherous seas. It doesn't really matter, but here's why it kind of matters. So let's look at the player board. So right now I'm at 0 for traveler's bonus. I should be at 1 because I failed. So every time you fail a treacherous seas movement, you gain a traveler's bonus. So now let's say what is word? Okay, let's just do it because I forget what I just rolled a second ago. But let's just say I'm going to roll my traveler's die to see if I can get through this current treacherous seas. I rolled a 6, so I did get through it safely. That's great. Had I rolled a 3, I could have spent my traveler's bonus that I got from my earlier failure to do a +1 on the die roll. And that would have popped me to 4. And 4 would have been enough to make me succeed. So every time you fail navigating, you do take damage, but you also gain that little buff that lets you do a +1 and do some luck mitigation on your movement, on future movement through treacherous seas. So, but as it is, I rolled a 6, and therefore I succeeded in moving to Orchid's Vale. Okay, so do I want to finish my movement though? Tough call. Did I reset my... I don't think I reset my sails. Because I just came from Dahlia's demise and I'm going this way. Oh, I see what I did. This is all part of the same turn. So I started out over here and I went 1. Is that what I did? No, I was a Blossom Scary. That can't be though. Did I go 1 and then I burn a sail and then I was here and then I moved for 1? That's what I did. Oh yeah, I was there. Okay, never mind. I had to backtrack in my brain. Okay, so so I did 1 to there, which popped me there. And then I did 2 to here. So now I can go a 3rd. I can either stay here. I did land though, because this is the end of my movement. And I can't move into these rough seas because I need 2 movement to do it. So on the same move action, I can only really add 1 more. So I'm going to stop here. This will be the end of my 2nd action. And that lets me then reveal this location, which is metal. Yay! Finally, I found metal. And I get the $1 for going here first. Now, it's my last action, and I could move again and get to Condor's Flight. But I want that metal. So I think I'm gonna stop here and not move any further, and instead I'm gonna burn my last action on gathering. So I'm gonna gather a metal. That's my last action. End of the round. They don't move because he's 1, 2, 3. He would need 4 in order to reach me. Likewise, he's 1, 2, 3. He would need 4 in order to reach me. So neither one of these can reach me, barely, but I'm still just slightly out of range. Okay, that's the end of the round. We now go to 8th round, which I have now done. My sails reset. I still have 1 damage on my hull. First movement, I'm going to move, I'm going to burn a sail. So I get to move 2 points, which is what it takes to enter this rough sea. And then I'm going to move again for a second movement. Or do I burn? No, I'll burn a 3rd sail, or 2nd sail rather. And that lets me move a total of 3 movement points, which is enough to get there in 1 movement. Okay, so that's the end of that first movement. So I'm going to see what, and Condor's Flight does metal again. Ooh, do I get more metal? I could have gotten both metal at Orchid's Vale. I don't even know why I didn't, because I need 2 anyway in order to get 2 cannons. Huh. You guys haven't even seen combat yet. If I stop, though, I need to stop anyway. So, yeah, I'll stop and I'll gather for 1. So I'll get another metal. That was inefficient. I should have filled up before, but I didn't. It's fine. And then for my third, I will finish this map clue. I'll solve this map clue. So now, just for the sake of record here, I have 5 map clues that have been solved. I need to solve one more, and then my faction mission will be complete. So we get one more for completing that one, and this one is Eagle's Landing. Eagle's Landing, please tell me you're close. Please tell me you're close. You're not, but you're over by the house. That's good because I need to get over there anyway. I need to get back to my home port. So I just have to overshoot it, which I need to do anyway in order to avoid these chuckles, right? Okay. All right. Eagle's Landing. That's where we're heading. End of the round. Still nice and far away, but victory points are suffering. I've only got 3 victory points. We're going to have to... I don't want to get into trouble with all these map clues on me, man. I think instead, I need money, though. I need money. Lumber. Why do I have lumber? Oh, for this quest. Oh. Huh. Well, how much money can I get? I can get $1, $2. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I could go get gems or spices. If I go get spices, then I can finish this quest. It's only worth a victory point, though. And I have to turn in $3 with it. Ugh. But I get a clue, and I don't need another clue. I have my 6th clue. Oh, but wait. I forgot. Condor's Flight, right? That was an undiscovered location, which means I get a quest card. Let's see what our quest card says. Burnt offerings, spices and lumber. Hey. I need spices. And that's hard to get right now. I've been to a lot of these locations, but I haven't been to all of them. Spices and lumber is kind of better than canvas and lumber, though. So I think I'm going to at least swap out that one. These quests are kind of killing me. I want some easy ones, and I'm not really getting some simple stuff. How many actions? That's the end of my actions. Great. Okay. We're going to go to round 10. End of the round, they get stronger again. It also means they can move further. There's not going to be very many ways that I can evade them at full movement. We're going to see how this goes. Okay. But that doesn't happen until the end of this round. So I get my sales back. I still have 1 traveler's bonus. I'm not looking too good about getting enough points at this point to get there. What happens if I get into a bunch of combat, though? Because if I remember correctly with combat, as long as you do damage, I think you get 3 victory points. Am I right? Oh, no. If you cause any damage to your target, gain 1. Okay. Okay. I was misremembering. I think you get 3 if you sink somebody. Or, no, you lose 3. That's what I was remembering. If you get sunk, you lose 3. At least, if I get sunk by anything other than a marauder. So if they do a bunch of damage and then I take damage in treacherous seas, and then I get sunk, I lose 3 points. Them sinking me on my own, I don't lose points, which is kind of nice. Okay. All right, top of the 10th round. How do I want to roll this? I need money. I can attack somebody and get $2. Ooh. Huh. If I attack somebody now, though, they're going to both gang up on me. I want spices, though. And I could go to, you can't see that. I could go to Nautilus Shores to get spices. That would incur his wrath, but I wouldn't be tangling with all three of them or even two of them at the same time. Especially when they're super strong and they can both deal like tons of damage. Getting hit by one of them is going to be bad enough. Because let me give you an example how this was going to go. If I go tangle with that guy, and I don't like ditch out before he gets there, and he takes 4 cannons worth of damage. He throws 4 cannons at me at the same time. He would, if that were the indication, he would go 9, 10, 11, 12, right? And the way combat works, if that was his roll, and he rolled a combined 12, for every 4 pips, he deals 1 damage. So he would deal 3 damage in 1 roll because he's fully up and fully armed with 4 cannons. So I guess in this case, we do 3 damage. So I would be at 4 out of 5 damage just with 1 interaction with him if he has that many cannons on him. And that was with a mediocre roll where I had a 2 and a 1, right? So it's some pretty, and each repair, by the way, is, I want to say it's $3 per hole in my in my hull for a repair. That is a lot. That is a lot. Where is the repair? I gotta know. It's right here. It's right here. Gather, sinking, damage, maintenance. There we go. Yeah, 3 points to restore 1 damage. Oh. So 4 points of damage would be 12 gold to repair that. That's a lot. And do I really want to do that for 1 spices? No. I need the money, though, to be able to pay for that cannon. I guess I could just trade. If I trade 2 metal, what is it? Oh, I see. No, I can't just... Can I sell? Oh, I can sell. Yeah. Okay, well, hey, that's true. I could sell 1 of my lumber and 1 of my metal and make $2 for that sale, 1 each. That would give me the 3, and then I could use the second metal that I have to buy another cannon. I was hoping to use the metal to buy 2 cannons and not have to go get more metal again. But that would give me 1 additional cannon. So my first move, I think, is to try to get back to this trading post, which I would want to do anyway. I can get attacked from him there. Well, let's see how it works out. Let's get to the trading post and we'll figure out the combat later. So to get there, I'm here, top of the round, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I succeed there, I'll be there. So how do I get there? I can move 4 because I can move 1 for free. And then it's, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, I should say. Oh no, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right. So I need to move 4, right? So we're going to burn all 3 of our sails to do this 1 move. So that's a move of a value of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I roll the dice because I'm on treacherous seas. So I rolled a 5. So I succeeded. Didn't need to use my traveler's bonus. And that puts me here at the end of my movement. So that was 1 action worth of movement. So second action, I'm going to trade. And I'm going to trade a lumber and a metal for $2. I now have $3 and 1 metal. So if I could make it to scroll bound librarium, I can do an upgrade. So if I end my turn here, which I don't want to do, I will be in range for his shenanigans. I can only move 1 point though. So let's say, for example, I'm here, right? I could move here, but he could just go 1, 2, 3. Because he can move at the end of this round. He'll be able to, when I get done, he'll be able to, well, at the end of the round though. So this round, he can only move, he can move 3. He can still get me 1, 2, 3. So if I move here, I'm done. I'm cooked. He's going to be able to attack me. If I move here, I can take my chances on the treacherous sea and land here. And he would have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get me. And he would have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get me. So I'm safe here. It does take me a little bit out of my way, though. But I got so many map clues, I really don't want to get sunk right now. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to burn my last action on a Treacherous Seas move. And I fail. Not only do I fail, I don't have enough Traveler's bonus to get me to a success with a roll of 1. So I take another damage and I don't move. So what does that mean though? Can he get to me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Can he get to me? 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Because he can only move 2 or 3 this round. Okay, I'm safe where I'm at, but I did take a damage and wasn't able to move further. So that sucks. Okay, well, I'm safe. So let's do the final buff of the game. That means each of the Marauders go up to 4 cannons and 4 movement. This is where things get dicey. Really dicey. Okay, I get my sails back. I'm back to 3 movements, or 3 actions rather. And I'm trying to get to Scrollbound Librarium to do a cannon upgrade. So what do I want to do? 1, 2, 3, 4 would be enough to get me there. But I don't want to do that because I actually would love to be able to get there all in one shot. So let's see if I can do it. 1, 2, 3. So that would be 2 sails. And then if I'm lucky, it spits me out here. So then I spend another action for moving. I could move my last sail and not have to worry about the second treachery. And then it's 1, 2 to get there. That's probably the right way to go. And then the third action can be to perform the upgrade. Let's try that. Okay, so I'm going to burn 2 sails. So I'm going to go 1 for free, and then 2, 3 for treacherous sails. Okay. I rolled a 2. So I take another damage. God dang. Hi. Okay. So I got stuck. It didn't spit me out. So I'm going to have to take a chance again. We're going to spend the last sail to move 2. We're going to go 1, 2. Yep. I don't see a way around it. All this for a cannon. Jeez. I still think it's the right thing to do because I'm going to have to tangle with them eventually, but I got to get home first. Where am I going anyway? Oh, I'm going down here to Ingalls Landing. Do I instead just try to get to Eagle's Landing instead of getting my cannon done? Because if I roll for this last, I'm on my last, am I on my last? Let me make sure I'm where I was at here. It was here. It was 1, 2, 3. This is my second move action. So I have one more action after this. So I'm here. Okay. So if I succeed in this treacherous seas, I can go here for free. So my last movement action can be to just dip in here. And I'm nice and safe from incursion from these guys way over here. So the next turn I can make it home. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. I'd like to get this cannon, but I can go there on the way back if I'm going out. And if I get sunk after that, I don't care because I don't really have a whole lot to lose. So maybe the safer bet would be that. Hopefully I roll high, or at least high enough. I don't, God dang it. Oh God, that's crushing. I rolled a 1. And I don't have enough travelers bonus to get me above to get me up to 4. So that's where I sit. And does he come finish me off? Maybe. He might. He probably does. Oh, it's going to be so bad. Oh, no, that's not true. I can make it into safe harbor. I have one more action, and it's a move action. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to come just coasting in here for my last action. It's a safe harbor. I'm not going to get nailed by this guy. What a mess. I now have, for the record, I now have 4 out of 5 damage. I take 1 more damage and I've been sunk. Which now means I have to burn extra movement to get home, just to not have to sail through treacherous seas and risk getting sunk. Oh, but hold on. I failed just now twice, right, in treacherous seas. So I actually go up 1 more on my bonus. So now I have a +2. That means as long as I roll at least a 2, I can succeed. So maybe I chance it again. And if I sink, you know what? It was glorious, but I'm already pushing it, right? This was the 11th round, by the way. I didn't move the marker, but it is. So, okay, here we go. Round of 12. Oh my God. Actions are back. Sales are back. God, what a mess. Do I stop and get my cannon? I have the money. I might as well. I'm here. I was trying to fight to get here anyway. But that was my last action. Now my last action was a move. So, okay, first action is let's do an upgrade. Spend $3 in the metal and get a cannon. Finally. My hard-earned second cannon. Okay, second action is treacherous seas. And as long as I don't roll a 1, it's an 11% chance or whatever it is. Don't roll a 1. Don't roll a 1. 4, I succeeded. Didn't even have to burn my traveler's bonus. Fantastic. Okay. So that was a movement, and I made it to here. You can't see. Let me put you back there. I made it. This was treacherous seas. I made it to here for free. So I can now burn 1, 2, 3 sails. 1, 2, 3 sails. Yeah. So that was one action. I'm gonna burn all 3 sails. And I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3 for my second action. And then for my last action, 3 will be to do a simple move into home port, which is also safe. And I'm going to turn in 5 of my 6 goals. I guess, does it make sense to do it that way? Hold on. So I got my, let's back that up. I'm going to retcon that. So I spent one action to do the upgrade. I still have 3 of my things and 2 of my actions, 3 of my sales and 2 of my actions. I move for 1, and that put me here for free because I succeeded. So now I'm there. I was so myopic about getting home. So instead, we can simple move here for 2, which lands me there, gives me a coin because I just discovered it. It is lumber. And I'm going to spend my last action here to solve my 6th map clue. Now let's make sure he can't reach me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can't reach me. Cool. All right, that's the end of the round. If I'm not going to get enough points to win, I want to at least get my faction mission done. Right? Okay, end of the round. I'm now at round 13. I get my sales. I never used my sales that round. And now I'm going to move. I'm going to spend, for my first action, I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to move all of my sales. Do I want to do that? I think I do. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I want to say that turning in, delivering clues. You may deliver a solved clue while landing on one of your team's home ports and gain 1 prosperity. I'm going to have to look that up. I'm going to call that like I can do as many as I want in one spot. If I'm wrong and the designer sees this, please let me know. But you can do as much as anything of anything else in the game in one shot as long as you have the currency in one action. I think turning in clues has got to be the same. Okay, so I earn 1 prosperity for every clue that I turn in. I'm turning in all 6. So these are now turned in. And I go from 3 points to 9 points. Now, I have some quests I can complete. I don't have any ability to take damage. And I didn't make any money from turning in the stuff. I only earned points. I have 2 more actions I can take this round. I could go after some spices. I could just go whack a guy and just get a point that way, get to 10 points. So I have 2 actions, right? So I don't have sales left. What do I want to do? Well, I need to be able to, I need to be safe about this is the problem. If I'm getting super cavalier, I'm going to get sunk. But do I care about getting sunk? What happened now that I've turned in my stuff? Let's talk about getting sunk. I would lose half my money. Well, I only have 1 coin. So I'd still keep the coin because it's rounded up. I would get all of my damage wiped away because I'd get a new ship, a repaired ship. I would lose equipped loot, but I don't have any equipped loot. I would get 5 ammo, which I never fired my ammo, so I still have 5. So let's go get blown up. And as long as they blow me up, I don't lose prosperity. A marauder can sink me, and it doesn't matter. So let's spend 2 actions to go get some spices. Although I think I'm going to lose the stuff in my holds. That's true. I think I do lose that. Do I lose everything in my holds? Probably. Yeah, I lose my resources. So it doesn't really matter. Let's just Do I limp over there? Go get shot? I want to walk up and smack him, but I don't have the movement points. I need to be able to get to 3 points, and I only have 2 actions to do it, and I don't have any more sales. So I could discard a loot to move 2, though. That's true. You know what? That's tempting. Why not? We're going to discard the baby clucking for 2 movement. That's what we're going to do. Oh, this is silly. Okay, here we go. I get 2 movement. So I get to move 1 for free. And because I discarded, because this is Delvish Mobility is my faction ability. Up once per turn, you can discard a loot card to move up to 2 spaces. So I move 1 for free, and I get the 2 movement from that action. So now he and I are sitting on the same location. And now I get to fire on. I get to fire on him with my 2 cannons. So I roll 2 ammo dice. And I roll 6. So I deal 1 point of damage. And that means I gain a prosperity for making an attack. And then this guy is the green guy. So the green guy gets a damage token. Okay. So that was my 3rd action. My second one was to move, and my 3rd one was to attack. And I literally did this to complete this quest, the cut of that jib. And it says, hit a rival ship with an attack. I successfully hit him, so I completed the goal. And I earn 1 victory point. So now I go to 11 and $2. Now I have $3. I'm out of movement points. And I have 1 hit point on my ship. So he's now going to turn around and unload 4 cannons at me. Not that it matters, but he just did 8, 9, 10 points of damage. So he did 2 hits. So I am now dead. This guy would have moved, but he didn't have to because it wasn't even his turn yet. And he went, and I was already dead. So I was already dead. So what happens when you die is you get sunk and you get pulled back to your home port. And then all of the damage gets wiped away. You basically get a brand new ship. And I lose half of my money. I have 3, and you round up. So because half of 3 is 1.5, I get to keep $2. So I only lost $1. And I have 5 ammo, which is the same as I had before. I didn't have anything in my holds, so I was fine there. And that's it. That's all. Like I basically just get a brand new ship out of the deal. Cool. Okay. It is now round 14. I have 1 more round to go after this one. This round and 1 more. I have 11 victory points. I guess it's not outside the realm of possibility that I can earn. I think these little trade quests are toast. There's no way I'm going to be able to complete those and still be able to get any kind of victory points for them. Not with all the different obstacles in my way to do it. I guess I could go 1, 2, 3, get spices for the second action and go 1, 2, 3, like 1, 2, I'd be here and then I'd get attacked. So it wouldn't matter. I wouldn't be able to get a trade quest done. I think I'm better off earning victory points for smacking people and seeing if I can survive long enough. Was it dumb to trade in the McClucken? Probably, because I would have been able to use that to evade one attack at least. I should have thought more about that before I chose what to trade in. I could try to do the smuggler's cash. Well, okay, all right. So here's the thing: if I roll a 6 on this smuggler's cash, sorry. Well, I'll put them both up so you can see what I'm talking about. Here's smuggler's cash. This is loot, right? If I roll a 6, I can get 2 resources of my choosing. If I do that, I could get spices and canvas, right? And then I could go trade them in, and if I do that, I get 2 victory points and a loot and $3. That's only if I roll a 6. It's an 11% chance. But hey, I could do it. So between that 2 points, and if I manage to land 2 hits, then I will make 15 points. Because I'm at 11 points now and I need 4. So this would give me 2, and if I can land 2 hits without getting blown up, I would make it to 15. Can I do that in 2 rounds? Can I do it in 2 rounds? Maybe I try doing the 2 hits first, so if I get blown up in the process, it doesn't matter. So, I have 5 ammo. I have 2 cannons, which means I can take 2 full volleys of shots to hit him. So, that's what we're going to do. For our first movement, here we go. First movement, we're going to move 3. We're going to do our 1 for free, and then we're going to burn 2 sails to get us here. That's 1 movement. So now we are back facing the green guy again. He's already got 2 damage. If I roll well, I might even be able to sink him. We'll see. So for my second action, I'm going to attack him. And I'm going to roll 2 dice for my 2 cannons. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, that sucks. Really? And there's no reroll? There's no nothing? I'm sure I could have found something. Well, one of these other classes probably has combat rerolls. Okay, so I whiff. I totally miss him. Second action, do I bug out? I could bug out. Nah. I'm going to take another swing at him. Third action, I'm going to attack again. Ooh, but hold on. I'm in range of both bad guys right now. That's a good recipe for disaster. But who cares? I got nothing. I got $2. I'm going to lose $1 if I do that. So I should take the hit and try to see if I can get the victory points. If he sinks me, he sinks me. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Screw it. 4. I rolled a 1 and a 3. So I got 1 prosperity for hitting him once. That's great. He does take 1 more point of damage. Also great. Okay, end of the turn, unfortunately. So here's how this goes. He's going to unload 4 cannons worth of damage on me. He does another 10, so he's going to do 2 points of damage for me. Boom, boom. But we're not over yet, because look who else is in range. This guy, 1, 2, 3. Here he comes. He's going to unload 2 volleys of cannons on me. Boom, boom. Oh, holy crap. Okay, so he just did 17, which means he does 4 points of damage and he sinks me. So I lose one of my dollars, and back to the home port I go. Blue comes back here. Now we've got the bad guys right here. Okay, last round. 15th round. I need to somehow get I think we run up and do it again. I think we run up and do it again. That's exactly what we do. We're going to run up and do it again. We start with 5 ammo because we got a brand new ship. So I don't have to buy ammo again. So I'm going to burn 2 sails. I don't think I can make it. I might be able to make it to the trade. We'll see. We'll see. We don't have damage anymore. We have a brand new ship again. 2 sails. 1 for free, 1, 2. Now we're facing off against 2 of them. But watch me. Let's see what happens. This is the last round. We're going to take the same green Marauder. We're going to burn 2 of our dice for 2 of our cannons. We're going to try again. This is second action. So we have 1 more action after this. Ooh, hold on. Hold on. Do I have enough actions? Do I have enough actions? No, but here's what we're going to do instead. Hold on. Wait. Back it up before I go do something crazy. Okay. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4 with all 3 of my sails. Do the trade, hopefully. We'll see how I roll, but do the trade with the smuggler's cash. And then with my third action, oh, but then I wouldn't be able to attack. I still have to move and attack. And I can't do it. And the Marauders will come attack me, but that doesn't mean I get prosperity because I don't get to attack. It's only when I initiate attack and though I land a shot do I get a prosperity for it. So it's either or. I can either make 2 victory points by landing 2 shots, or I can make 2 victory points by trading if I get lucky on the roll. And I don't think I can make 3. I just don't see how it can happen. Ooh, okay, hold on. Well, can I do it? Let me think. I got 5 ammo, which means I have 5 shots. Yeah, 5 shots, which means I get 5 rolls of the dice. I can only attack for 2 cannons at a time, which means I really need 3. I need 3 attacks. I'm not going to get 3 attacks because I only have 3 actions I can take, and I'm stuck at home. So I have to burn a move action to get there, which means I can only attack twice. So even if I landed both attacks, I would only earn 2 victory points. I think I'm going to come in a victory point short no matter what I do. So, screw it. I just don't see how I'm going to be able to do this any other way. Oh, hold on. I can do it. I can do it. Because I have Song of the Wind, which lets me move 1 space with 1 sail without spending an action point. I can do it. Okay, here's how this is going to go. Let's just step through it. Here I am at home base. I'm going to spend 2, I'm going to have one back up. I'm going to spend 1 action point to spend 2 sails, go 1 for free, 1 sail, 2 sail, right? That's 1 movement. And then, can I? Oh, but then, I see what my problem is. Because then even if I attack twice, then I'm out of action points. So even if I move, I can't then trade. Is it an action? I think it is an action point to actually initiate a trade. Gather, solve. Is it? Or do I get to trade if I stay there? I think it's hold on. I can do it. While landed at the port, you can't. Aha. Okay. So can actually performing the trade does not require an action point. It's if I end my turn on the port. If I end my movement on the port, then I can conduct port activities for free. And because I have one more sail left, I can take 2 attack actions and then drift into harbor at the port with my special action, my Song of Wind, and then end my movement. It'll actually be ending. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't require. It's part of my third action. Would be Song of Wind. So that's what we're gonna do. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Okay. All right. All right. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if we can make it happen. I just don't know. I just don't know how this is gonna go. Here goes nothing. Okay, so for our first action, we did our thing. We spent 2 sails. We made it there. We're now facing off against 2 marauders. I'm going to initiate attack number 1 for my second action. Roll 2 dice. Ooh, 3 and 6, which means 9, and I got 2 attack, or 2 damage. I dealt 2 damage to the green marauder. He now only has 1 point left. I might even be able to sink him. That'd be kind of fun. So he's got 4 of 5 damage. He's got 1 hit point left. And I'm going to take my third action, which is to roll 2 dice and do another attack. And I rolled 7, which lets me do 1 point of damage, which lets me sink a marauder. Now, what happens if I sink a marauder? Do I get anything for it? God, I hope so. That'd be great. Let's find out. Sinking a marauder. Gain coins equal to the ship's cannons, both ready and spent. That's nice, but, well, that might still help. Okay. So I dealt the last. I'm not going to worry about resetting the marauder because what you do is you draw and he reappears somewhere else. But I don't need to worry about that because this is the end of the game. So he is sunk. I have sunk the green marauder completely. He has 4 cannons, which means I make 4 bucks. That's important for the last part of my action. So this is my third action still. And for Song of the Wind, once per turn, you may spend 1 sail to move 1 space without using a move action. So I burn my last sail and I drift into Tradeport right there. And then it says Smuggler's Cache. Discard this item on your turn and roll a die. All I basically need to do is roll a 3 or higher. Here goes. 3 or higher. I rolled a 4. A 4 lets me gain 1 lumber, canvas, or metal. So first things first, I have 12 victory points now. I hit him twice. That means I landed 2 attacks, 1 prosperity for each attack that I landed. I'm now at 14. I get this Smuggler's Cache. I rolled a 4. It lets me gain 1 lumber, canvas, or metal. Ah, bummer. Oh, no. Oh, wait. Yeah, I would need a gather action. Bummer. Okay. Okay, so unfortunately, I can't use this because it's spices. I would have had to have, and even this, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Oh, bummer. I had the wrong quest cards. So unfortunately, even though I managed to do it and make it there, I just didn't have the quest cards, the right quest cards to let me do this because both quest cards required spices and I didn't have the actions necessary to collect spices. That's a sad way to end it, but you know what? I made 14 out of 15 victory points. I completed my faction mission of 6 quests or 6 map clues. I still lost the game, but I lost it by 1 point. And I think I really pulled out every trick in the bag available to me to try to make that victory work, but I did lose by 1 spot. But you got to know. All right, so here's my final thoughts, right? Like let's stop and think about this. The puzzles of movements and how to avoid combat, how to get into combat when I want to get into combat, how to actually like complete these goals and complete the missions, and the navigating the rough seas and taking your chances on treacherous seas, and using getting sunk as a strategic decision. All of that factored into the gameplay. All of that factored into my ability to go from what was 3 or 4 victory points at like 4 turns ago to 14 victory points by the time I was done. I'm beginning to understand just how much you can work this system if you're thinking outside the box a little bit, and how much that is necessary to be good at this game. So, did I actually find the pirate game for me? I think I did. I think it lives up to the hype that I was hoping it would live up to when I backed this game on Kickstarter so long ago. It took them a long time. These guys are our very first game publishers. They're early days. This is a husband and wife design team who did a phenomenal job on their first game. It is very, very well balanced. I feel like the mission, the goals, these ones can just eat a lot of time, but if you work this kind of stuff to your advantage, you might be able to eke out a victory. I just didn't keep along the right goals. And I mean, that's the kind of thing about thinking ahead and trying to plan. This game rewards you for really like thinking through the problem space on a given turn and trying to make the best possible use of your action points. It is thinky without being complex. The mechanics are very simple to pick up and learn. I can teach this game in minutes and get up and running. The system isn't overly complex. Most of the pirate games that I've played that have a lot of the machinery that I feel is necessary for a properly complex pirate game overbuild the mechanics, and the rule sets are really hard to wade through. That is not the case with Quests and Cannons. The rule book, let me show you. This is an example of a rule book page. This is cooperative mode. Let me give you an example, right? So this is like gather and solve clues, right? The text is really big. It's really well designed and colored, so you can really get to the data, and they bolded the text and they highlighted text in all the right ways. They give you lots of good iconography, lots of descriptions and examples all the way through this rule book that really make learning this game a breeze. Honestly, they say the game is like 1.83 in complexity or something. I just don't know that I agree with that. 1.83 seems right when you're playing the multiplayer shoot 'em up version where you're just running around and causing chaos and trying to whatever. But when you're playing against the Marauders in the solo game, and when you're playing with the Marauders included in a multiplayer game, the crunch factor is increased because now you're trying to work the system to not pull their attention, to not stay in range of them. You only pull their focus, you only get them to come after you if you end your turn in range. You can pass through them all you want, but if you end your turn, that's when they come after you. So that becomes the game. That becomes the strategic decision of when do I want them to attack me? When do I want to attack them? And can I get away to avoid being attacked myself? All while getting loot and quest cards galore, map clues. The map clue system is pretty interesting. You just got to visit the locations, and that's about all you have to do. So I think that part works pretty well. I do wish that there was, and maybe this is me just hoping for something a little bit looser. I don't know. But I wish that the map clues gave you something more, even if once in a while it was a chance to get a prosperity for doing some map clue stuff. That would be nice if there was some way to do that. But that's just, it's so nitpicky. And I feel like that might just me wanting to earn more prosperity for doing things and looking for a looser game. But that's not the game's fault. That's maybe me just needing to acclimate to this system and really learning how to exploit what I have better. but that's great. That's a great challenge to have. I think Quests and Cannons really strikes that beautiful balance between thinky, piratey fun, without being overly simplistic and just focusing on PvP. And if you're not playing PvP, then the game's not fun. That's so often the case with pirate games. In this game, the game is super fun, even if you're not going for a heavy combat game. There are classes you can play that are combat focused. So if you want to come into the solo game and just have a rip-roaring combat-y time, the game supports that. And I might try that next time just to see what it feels like. But as a navigator, trying to pick my battles with a fast, agile ship with very few holds, this was a tense puzzle from start to finish, and it moved well. I never felt like the game overstayed its welcome. I was thinking I was ending right on time, that I never felt like I was here forever and ever. I also didn't feel like it was over in a snap, and I didn't get anything done. This game leaves me wanting to play it again. And if you've watched my other videos, my other streams, I don't say this kind of stuff about a lot of the games that I play. Partly it's because I'm excited to finally have found the pirate game for me. And I do think this is it. So if you get a chance to pick up a copy of this, I know it's a little expensive right now. It is an indie publisher game, so they had to probably increase the price a little bit to compensate. I do still think it's worth it, and I do think you should go get it if this game looked like fun for you. It certainly was for me. It's an absolute keeper for me when I want a pirate game, and I'm really looking forward to experiencing this multiplayer. So that says everything I think it can say. I think it's beautiful. I think the game is great. I highly recommend it, and I'm really grateful that you came and checked out Quests and Cannons with me at the table this Sunday with me, your host, Bob. So I won't see you next week. I have to take next week off to get some life stuff done. It'll be get that out of the way, but you'll see me again the week after next. But because you're here tuning in, I'm going to clue you in on something. A little special stream is going to be happening this Wednesday at 6:30, between 6:30 and 7 p.m. I think is the start time, Pacific time, where we will be showing off the newly revamped rule set for a game called Bantam West. Bantam West is an open sandbox Western story-filled narrative combat craziness. And if you've never seen this game, tune in and watch the stream. I'll be streaming it right here on this channel. It's a computer version though. So you're going to be watching Tabletop Simulator, which is not something I generally stream, which is why it's a special deal. Not doing it on a Sunday. It's a special video stream of a Tabletop Simulator version. The designers and the publisher of Bantam West will be in chat, available doing Q&A and doing rules checks and stuff for us. We're going to be evaluating and debuting this new rule set live on the air. And we'll be playing it multiplayer with my streaming team. So the two mods that are in my channel will be live on my channel with me on screen, and we'll be playing Bantam West as a 3-player game. It's going to be wild and crazy. We're going to be trying to break the game in some interesting and creative ways. We'll see how that goes. So tune in. You'll see some announcements from Bantam Planet, the publisher, on that probably today or tomorrow in email if you've been following their campaigns. But either way, if you're subscribed, you should subscribe to this channel if you like this kind of stuff, and you will be notified when I go live on Wednesday. So come back, see us on Wednesday evening for that special Bantam West preview of their 1E edition. And otherwise, we'll see you not this Sunday, but next Sunday for your normal scheduled Sunday at the table with Bob with another brand new game, probably. So thanks again very much for tuning in and joining me again here. And we'll see you again very soon, probably on Wednesday. Take care.